All right, dude, we are now going. And we're going live, and we're going hard, and we're going fast.
Aliens on the border.
The Army Air
Sorry.
Force has announced that a flying disc has been found.
Faster than light spaceship of the future.
By direction of the President of the United States, stay in your home.
Is it human or inhuman? Earthly or unearthly?
Born in that swirling inferno of radioactive dust, there is no word to describe them.
We may be witnesses to a biblical prophecy come true.
Why is it that we usually ignore the fourth dimension?
Is this the human race of the future?
Aliens on the border.
I totally fat fingered the intro and just you heard clapping and
It's just
we're
we're
hard
going
to
live.
do.
We're going fast. Aliens on the border,
it's hard. It's hard to fat finger these because they're big ass.
and they
like,
are big
squares.
ass buttons, dude.
I just like threw my hand at the entire thing. Hi, dudes, and
Dudettes.
I have a couple of new guests. I don't have a co-host anymore. No, I'm kidding.
Fuck off. I've been gone for a while. Yes,
You've been
it's
gone
apparent.
for
A lot
like
of
a
people have been
month,
messaging
dude.
me saying, "Hey, when is Aliens on the Border going to be good again?" And I was like, "All right, dude. I've been sick. I'll get back on."
Ooh.
I've been really nasally. I feel really
You're
nasally.
really
right now.
nasally.
Yeah, because I still have like a lot of congestion. But
How much tea did you drink throughout your COVID time?
I actually didn't drink tea. Right?
Like no type
None.
of tea.
No type of tea.
Why are you just shove tea down his throat, dude? That's the way to go.
He had like electrolyte.
I drank-
That counts.
I drank
Electrolyte.
a fuck ton of electrolyte, dude.
Were you,
The
like,
Pedialyte.
super-
I was super electrolyte, dude.
I was super lit, bro.
Do you want to hear about it? You want me to talk about my COVID
But yes,
journey?
but before we go into all of that, we do actually have Roger back finally. Thank God. He's alive. He's well. He mysteriously speaks Cantonese every now and then. And then today's guest is the host of the Bitching Hour 956 podcast.
One of them.
One of the
and poet extraordinaire.
poet extraordinaire.
Poetess.
Other various titles.
Yes. I'm everything all at once.
Everything, throw mommy into the mix as well. That's also a thing.
She is.
And she's also Roger's girlfriend, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not part of the titles, but yes.
But I mean, that's just
She is my girlfriend,
It's
yeah.
just something to check off on the box.
Yeah,
like,
check on
we
the
got a
box,
lot
yeah.
of
She also does
not
the
a lot of,
Goddess Guild. The Goddess Guild is another thing.
Goddess Guild. There you go.
That's another.
We both got a lot
Venture.
going on. Power couple as fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And-
Xiomara,
Yeah.
Hi.
aka Xio.
Woo.
Just a little brief.
That was so loud.
We're going to have to find another fucking audience thing because that one is very annoying.
Really?
Yeah.
You think it's like too loud? Like
It's
initially,
very
Like-
loud. It's very loud and it's just like, ah!
but it's loud and it's also proud.
Okay. No.
All right.
Dude, you know what's funny? One of these things that I've fucking noticed over the last like 2 weeks. I don't know if maybe it's just like the lack of like comedy or something, but you make a lot of dad jokes.
I do.
A lot of them, dude. Like
well, I
shit.
purposefully do them though.
Yeah, I know, and they're
Like not on purpose. Like
deep, dude.
yeah.
I'll pull one up in the middle. But there was
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, it was one in the comics chat where you said something and everybody was kind of like, "What the fuck, Josh?"
No one cared. I was like, come on, you guys don't make jokes in the comedians chat or what?
They're not funny off the clock.
No,
Like,
dude.
or like we
found
save it for the stage.
They're not funny at all. Oh,
That's
JK.
funny as hell.
Awesome.
Esteban, hey, when's the next? It's rapid fire. This is in the comics chat, right? Esteban, hey, when's the next Los Olvidados, Mike? Josh, no sé, se me olvidó. Right, and then he goes, and then Esteban posts a hey, is it GIF or GIF?
GIF.
It's GIF. You guys are wrong.
Dude, the creator himself was like, it is GIF.
Yeah, and he's a fucking software developer, not a fucking, linguist.
But
Dude, he's
linguistically,
naming
you can
his
pronounce
thing.
it the same thing, so that's what
Yes.
it's titled.
No,
He
it's
was
not.
like,
I mean,
this
if
is
the French,
peanut butter.
The
It's
French
GIF.
can have
No,
words or letters that are not pronounced.
The
you can say
you just
GIF.
said it. You just said it right now. The peanut butter is GIF, right? And it's GIF.
Right,
It's the
but
same thing
GIF
with the
is
C and the K. They both make the K.
and,
No,
and
dude.
in,
So-
in
so-
the
so,
English
okay, so
language, when
when-
there's a G followed by the letter I together, and there's not immediately another vowel after it, it's the J sound.
Like giraffe.
Yeah.
The fuck are you talking about? So you're telling me that for Christmas you get GIFs?
No.
You want a Christmas gift?
All right, I just made that rule up, but it sounds credible.
Okay,
It's
whatever.
the rule is something like that. I probably botched it. Of course, I botched it, but like it's something like that.
No. It's
Okay, so all right.
it's-
Anyways, you were
I'm
saying
gonna go to the safari and look at all
to
the
the Sarafi.
giraffes. Yeah, that one.
Giraffes.
The
Giraffes,
giraffes,
it's
dude.
pronounced giraffe, babe.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
so
I know.
there you go.
That's, I
Just
get
take
that.
off the R.
But I want to.
And you have Giaf.
Our 1 year is coming up. I'm gonna get you an anniversary gift.
Thanks.
So she's gonna say
Anyway, whatever. Look, Esteban posts a GIF of Bill Cosby, and Josh puts, "I feel sleepy all of a sudden." And then Esteban puts, "That's funny. I'm rock hard." And then Josh puts, "I thought you were Esteban."
And you fucking mad reacted to
I
that.
mad reacted it. Yeah, as all the time you post some dumb shit on there. What was the other one, dude?
I don't know.
You posted something in our chat with the boys.
I don't know.
And Isaac called you out on it too. He even said like, "I feel like Josh would be like the king of dad jokes or something."
We were talking about butt plugs. I was very curious. 'Cause
That's not. Just
I was very curious, like to see like if anybody was gonna take me seriously or not, because I was pretending that like I was doing butt plugs or whatever, and like I don't know if Mario believed me or not, or if we were both just trying to psych each other out to see if like when one would be like, "Nah, I'm just joking," but then we just left it as it was. You know what I mean?
So it's
What
going
is
to
this?
continuously go on till one of y'all admits to either lying or telling the truth.
Yeah. Well, I
So-
just admitted. I just copped to it, so I guess I lost.
Some of these on here, the conversations.
Mario's right now like, oh shit. What did I say?
The conversations. I'm not gonna, like. I can't read.
You can't read any of the
I
messages
can't
just out of
read
context.
a lot of these.
It's because there's context to comedy, right? So like when you say things that you don't just say them out of the blue, but sometimes you do, and then that's what makes it funny. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I kind of want to just look into one of these.
What was it I said? Because I can't remember.
I don't
anymore.
remember, but Isaac was like,
just search up the phrase.
I did, and it doesn't say. I don't know why he said it. It just says that if
Maybe it was in reference to, because that was the night immediately after the previous.
that if they had a dad joke / witty one-liner battles, Josh would be like Eminem 8 Mile versus that dude Clarence.
What did I even say before that?
I have no idea. You just put "What's up, you Republican." I don't know.
Oh, okay, because I put "What's up, you Republican," and then I put "Nah," and then
That's true. Pro trend. That's so dumb. That's so fucking dumb. Okay, like yeah, it's because he puts "What's up, you Republican?" Nah, dude, and then he puts this picture of one of the jobs that one of the guys works for Pro Trans. Fucking idiot! God damn it! I just got it right now on the stream.
Oh, you didn't
That's
get it?
fucking funny. I didn't.
God damn it.
I didn't.
You
Sometimes
didn't like read it. The
I
whole
don't download the
You
the
just see
stickers
something,
sometimes.
yeah.
I just see the fucking blurred out thing.
thing.
That's fucking funny. And then yeah, there was a lengthy conversation about butt plugs and weird places people have masturbated.
Oh yeah, because somebody
Um,
posted a Reddit thread about that, right?
Yeah, and
Or like a screen
fucking
grab.
Mario.
All right, guys. If you guys love this episode, please make sure you support our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Guru Cats. It's a book series that's being developed into an animated series. They're dropping NFTs. They're dropping music. Details the story of 9 feline humanoids that saved their planet from the evil queen Kiva. Go to website gurucats.com. Use promo code AOTB for 10% off anything in the store, from the audiobook to caps to hoodies, t-shirts, everything that's in the store. That promo code is AOTB. Make sure you follow them on social media, on Instagram at GuruCats, and it's GURUCATZ. That's gurucats.com, GURUCATZ.com. Use promo code AOTB for 10% off anything in the entire store.
Took the cake for that one.
Yeah.
Um.
Whatever. We can't say anything else.
Yeah, I can't say anything about that.
Top secret.
There was something that did make me laugh though.
But apparently I have dad jokes that.
Yeah, the dad jokes. That's they're great. Oh, you put something random at night. You put that leftover COVID cough. Sorry. Wait, Si no te bautizan, te llevan los duendes.
Okay, has anybody ever heard that phrase before? Like, or not the phrase, but like that, like, si no te bautizan, te llevan los duendes thing?
I
Is that a
just
thing?
I just heard that if you don't baptize the baby, the devil stays inside them, and that's why they're bad. But I mean, like all these little Mexican kids with like gold teeth are bad, and they're baptized.
Who's
so I don't know.
baptized? Are you baptized?
I am
Are
baptized.
you
Yeah.
baptized?
Yeah, I'm
I'm
baptized
baptized.
twice, bro.
Damn.
What is a Christian? What is a...
You were like, let me just double dip just to make sure, dude.
The story, I mean, we can talk like some religion stuff too. I don't want to derail this entire conversation, but the story was actually that I was born and then my mom baptized me, Catholic. And then later, as I got older, in high school, I met a girl who was a hardcore Christian. We started dating, and I started going to church with her. And I actually bought in like 100%. Not because of her. I mean, I started going.
You just
'cause
felt
of-
like saved?
I started going because of her.
Do you feel
And,
like any sort of inner peace?
no. Mm-mm. Actually, I felt very conflicted afterwards. Here's the story. So I went and I got baptized as a Christian. And then I felt very conflicted, like, the more that I,
Ventured into
stuff,
hole.
especially in college. And college was a big eye opener too, because I was just kind of like, man, I'm in biology and like reading all these things, and I'm just kind of like, I'm not entirely sure if I,
Believe biology.
believe
Oh.
religion. I don't know. Man,
I'm
this
sorry,
whole
dude.
thing about life sounds like bullshit.
I don't know, man.
So-
Dinosaurs and people walk together. That's all I know.
So I ended up going to I would go to these youth things after my girlfriend at that time and I broke up. I still kept going to church, and I would go with Nichols a lot actually too. And
Nichols, dude, just out here trying to pray the gay away together.
and so as I was out there like doing these things, like I when I would go to these youth things every Friday, it was like a church group for college adults or young adults in college or whatever, and they were just like really inflammatory about things that I just really didn't like. I had a friend, like really close friends, that were gay, and
They were churchgoers. I kind of remember you telling me the story.
and then these like the youth pastor stuff, like they would all be like, it's an abomination, and I need you to know that, like, if you continue this lifestyle, you're going to hell, right? Like, you're going to hell. And I was like, but what about if they're like good? And they're like, doesn't fucking matter. They literally were like, sorry, like if they're plenty of good people go to hell all the time.
There's a dress code, dude. Come on.
So I think after that, I kind of started questioning it. And then I think the religion conversation is a good talk for another time. But we
Who
definitely.
do you think has like a higher? Nah, you know what? I'm not even good.
Has a what?
Nothing. I'm just gonna.
No.
I'm gonna whatever. Skip over what else.
No. I want to hear what you had to say,
Why?
because you sounded like you were about to drop like a bomb.
It was gonna be stupid. And
Oh, yeah.
and it was gonna be an attempt at a joke, but it was gonna
Or let's
come
hear
off
it.
the wrong
Let's
way.
hear the attempt.
Nah, let's not.
All right,
Let's
cool.
talk about Xio. Hey, Xio, you do poetry, right?
Yeah.
So you do- all right,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Next topic.
Yeah,
That was like the most unsubtle like redirection
yeah.
ever.
Yeah,
It's a religion,
the
right?
Segue. So religion, dude. You know what else is like religion? Poetry.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about it. No, yeah. So, Xio, you do.
As of today, when we're recording this,
You. I feel like you hadn't been reading a lot at different places, right? But now I feel like it's very frequent that you're like
Yeah.
getting called to perform or to read your poems at events. And we've talked a little bit before, like personally, about how that feels. That people are starting to like take notice and specifically name you and request you for these things. How has that been?
That's nice. I mean, like, it's good. I started writing poetry at 23. I have had very, very bad imposter syndrome my whole life. So I started writing like at 23, 24, and I kind of just put it on pause till I was like, I'm 26 now, right? So I started picking it up again maybe like at the beginning of 2021. I was like, all right, I think I'm ready to get back into stuff. And then somehow I had like stumbled upon some of the older stuff that I was writing, and I was like, this really isn't bad. Like, yeah, maybe it needs like some tweaking and some like organization, but like this wasn't as shitty as I thought it was when I first wrote it. So I was like, let me give myself a chance, right? So I started writing more and I started doing more. And recently I started going out to more poetry slams, and it just feels nice. Like, it's just like my favorite thing is after reading, having somebody come up and be like, oh, I felt it, that really like resonated with me. Like, just knowing that the things that I say are kind of like encapsulating so many other people's experiences too. Like, that feels good. Like, I don't need to be told, oh, you write well. I just like knowing that people can relate to the stuff that I write and the stuff that I put out. So that's kind of like what I go for. That's what I aim for.
What got you into writing in the first place, like before your break initially?
I've always liked it. I've always really liked writing, but I kind of feel like growing up it was a very big focus on more like professional, like academic writing rather than leisure writing, because, you have to make money. You can't do things for bullshit when you're growing up, right? So it was more just like focused on school, and then I got my bachelor's and I was like, what do I do now? So I started getting back into actually like writing for fun and creatively, and that's kind of what sparked that.
What'd you get your bachelor's in?
English.
English. Okay, cool. So you're a better judge of the English language than all Roger Pants over here.
I wouldn't necessarily say that, because there's plenty of times where I feel like whoever gave me my degree should get their licenses revoked. like that happens like at least 2 times a day where I'm just like, oh my God, like
You're
they should be fired.
My claim at GIF. No, but damn, dude, I didn't finish school, and
Same.
I did get into a couple of American literature classes that were really cool. Did you go to TAMU?
Yeah.
Any chance? Did you ever have any classes with Dr. Dean?
Oh, Dr. Dean.
That guy
I
was a
love Dr.
fucking
Dean,
G,
dude. He was amazing. And I was even his supplemental instructor
No shit.
for a year. Oh, man, he's awesome. Like,
yeah, he was pretty legit.
like he's in my top 2 favorite professors.
For sure. Even though I only had that one class with him for that one semester. He had a lot of very interesting takes on shit, and I feel like
he had such an awesome sense of humor too. Like,
yes,
super subtle, super dry. It was so great.
And I would back then at the time I would smoke like way more weed. I would smoke weed. I don't really smoke weed anymore. But like I would just walk in a classroom smelling like it, and he would always just have like some quip like, "Oh, it smells good in here," or some stupid shit like that, and like it would always just have me like, "Oh fuck, I'm super like paranoid or whatever the fuck." But anyways, I digress. Poetry. I've myself am not a poet, but
I was hoping
like,
that's where I was going to go.
Stop dropping one right now, dude.
How close do you feel like a rap artist? Because that is essentially right next to it. You are a rap artist.
No, not at all.
No, you don't think so?
No, I think
feel
I'm
like
more.
The closer they're like right there.
I think the stuff that I write though is more like storytelling prose rather than like actual like cadence flow poetry.
Okay.
It's more like storytelling in like stanza rather than like, oh, I'm gonna rhyme and I'm gonna flow and I'm gonna sing. It's like I don't have that talent. I'm not musical at all.
Just get a little like, what do they call those things that you bang or whatever?
A bongo.
No, oh yeah, that
cajon?
too. A cajon, dude, a fucking drawer. Just get a drawer up there and just, I don't know. I'm fucking around. I'm sorry. I got to make jokes about everything. That's not always the best thing, but I've always liked the idea of poetry, and I've only been to maybe like a handful of slams pre-COVID, and I couldn't enjoy them because I'm a judgmental piece of shit, and I just scoffed at everything. Like I was just like,
Josh doesn't like feelings.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I was laughing at one of the more recent slams I went to. I think I told you about this. They had gone to go ask some guy if he wanted to judge, and he's like, no. And so B walks away, and he's like, I'm gonna judge in my mind though. And I was like, oh my God.
I just couldn't help the feeling of being like, I could do so much better than you at everything that I would hear, and I was like, why am I even being like this? Like I would catch myself being like that. I'm like,
oh, dude,
I can't even.
Maybe that means you're a poet,
this. Dude. Nah,
because like I that's how I started doing the comedy stuff.
Okay, Ivan part 2. Dude.
No, yeah, I mentioned it. Like I started doing comedy because I would go to open mics,
and they were so
and they were
garbage.
they were not great. So I'd be
Yeah.
like, I can fucking do that, right? I do that. I do it better, and I started doing it. So maybe that's why.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I feel like it's unfair to have that thought and then like not go and pursue it yourself.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. That's why. That's why I
Yeah.
just tell myself to shut the
Then you're
fuck
just
up.
being a hater.
And the one time I was actually gonna go up, it turned out to be like the whole memorial for Bob, and I was like, I'm not about to go up there with this completely irrelevant thing. That's not a tribute. That's not a tribute
I
to,
mean,
to,
maybe-
to
Maybe
Baby.
that was just like the
RIP.
universe telling you not even to try.
Yeah, and
bro.
I
They're
was
like,
just
just
like,
hate
I'm
in
alright.
silence.
Yeah, I was like, dude,
This
go
fucking rest in peace, Bob.
For
But,
real.
like, dude, that's fucking hilarious. So, like, the one time I wanted to go, one of the people
yeah,
dies, and you're at their fucking memorial.
yeah.
It was funny though. Is like I had been telling Bob for a while that I wanted to try poetry.
Good thing you didn't. Because
I wanted to try doing poetry, and he was like, "Yeah, man, definitely go, definitely." He's actually the one that I credit with like having me go and like check out like the downtown scene. I wouldn't have gone to a poetry slam had it not been for Bob. So I started going and like checking it out, and I started wanting to get like the courage to do that because I always felt like I wanted to kind of like branch out, but I ended up doing comedy instead, which I think was a good trade-off.
I think so too, and I feel on the topic of the downtown scene, quote unquote, I feel like there is slowly a comeback that's being built up.
There is a comeback. You
Yeah,
feel
I
it.
mean,
It's in the air for sure.
There was, especially just because like seeing what happened at Ghost House, like with like what you guys did, and then like there's
what are
been
you
like
talking about?
repeated shows since
The
then.
Christmas Halloween
Oh.
party.
Yeah, like there's been shows since then, like you know what I mean, popping around.
I
and
think
then
everybody's getting
you're
they're
like,
getting
"Alright,
they're
dude."
shaking it
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
They're ready
for
to go
real.
out.
Like fucking, you know what? And I just thought about this as we were talking. Like some people went in COVID and came out at a different decade in their age. Like you know what I mean? Like now there's people that were like 28, 29, and they're like, oh, COVID ended.
I
and
feel
now
like
I'm 30.
everybody's so stunted, and we're just trying to catch up at this point. Like we lost like 3 years of doing what we wanted to
I
do,
feel
and we're
old
just
as
like,
fuck.
let's go.
Do you really?
Yeah, I feel old as fuck, dude. I feel like
How old are
now,
you?
like I'm 29.
Damn, bro.
Fuck you, aren't you 28?
No,
Yeah, you are. How
no,
old
I'm
are you?
not, dude. 25. What the fuck?
No, no, you're fucking not.
I really am.
No, you're not. You're a year under me.
No, I'm not,
The
dude.
fuck
I was.
Wait,
well,
let me
yeah,
see your
I am.
fucking ID right now.
My wallet's over there, dude.
Hey,
I
grab
wanna
it.
go
He's like,
get
you
it.
can't do math.
Yeah,
Go get it. We'll wait.
What year were
It's
you
fine.
born?
1996.
You're full of shit.
I'm serious.
You're full of shit,
Yeah.
Josh. Come on, dude.
I'm full of shit. dude.
I was like, there's no way you're younger than me, dude. No way.
You're like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah,
I'm about
no,
to throw hands.
See, I have that COVID brain fog, but it's not that
Not that bad.
Nah,
He
I'm
still has a few brain cells left.
A
Yeah.
couple of them, just a
I'm
few.
20. I'm gonna be 29 in June, so it's like
Yeah, I know, but I'm gonna be fucking 30 in
Ah, la
July.
verga, dude.
Yeah,
I'm gonna kick
once
you off
I-
this show. Bro.
once I hit
No
30
people out here, man.
Yeah,
All
once-
ages.
Yeah, you ready to
feel-
replace him or
and
what?
it's crazy is that like I feel like I'm barely like getting into my own like becoming my own person and feeling very confident about it, and then now I'm gonna turn 30. I'm like, fuck, maybe it's too late.
Maybe it's too late. Dude.
But yeah, no. So tell us about that journey as far as like I feel like we use that a lot for people who are kind of just in the creative space in general. But like I've gotten to see you go from like not really doing all that much in terms of poetry, and then just like all of a sudden one day,
It's like a boom.
boom, take out your
Yeah.
journal, and now it's like every single day. The other night you stayed up and writing, and I fucking knocked out.
She wrote all the shit about you, dude.
Probably.
I was telling him I'm gonna read a poem about you, but you can't get mad. And he's like, "What is it?" And I was like, "It's called My Boyfriend's Really Stinky."
We have-
My boyfriend will appeal.
that's the endearing thing. You always end up like our pet names are Stinky and stuff. So
I just said it 'cause I like to push his button, so I said that. I was like, "But you can't get mad." Turns around, "What are you gonna read?" I was like,
dude, it's because last time I was at I went to the poetry slam. That happens.
And she slammed you.
It happens at Cultura, the same place where we do the mic drop, the open mic, the upstairs, but it happens on the off weeks. So on a Thursday, whenever
Yeah.
there isn't an open mic, whenever there isn't a mic drop, they have a poetry open mic there, the Border Slam. So I went one day because I had been telling her like, I want to fucking see you perform. Like, I feel like you see me all the time and I've never seen you. So, and I went and I ended up helping them run sound there. And she goes up and she fucking reads this poem. And he
takes it so personal. It wasn't even about him.
Roger.
Dude, it was so
not even about him.
It was so, and she was like, she gets up there and she tells us, it's like and she's very fiery when she's on stage, right? Like I see it and I was like, you know, entranced watching her do the thing, and then I realized, hang on a second.
That was not about you.
It's dude,
he just thinks it's about him because it was a song that he showed me.
Phoebe Bridgers Kyoto, right? She wrote a poem based on a line.
Yeah, and he thought it was about him. He's like, I showed you that song, and I was like, that's not even how I work.
It
like
was
usually,
my abuser with glasses, and white skin.
Dude, 100%. She was like, I fucking hate living with you, and I was like, it's not about you though.
He never puts
you
away
never
his
put
socks.
the toilet seat down,
and so. She comes up to me, right? And to dodge the fucking question, it was masterful.
No, it wasn't. You told me, was that about me? And I said, no.
No, that's not what she said.
You said that.
That's not what she said. She comes up to me and she goes, I'm like, she's like, so what did you think? I'm like, yeah, dude, that was dope. But that
was about me, right?
That was about me. And then she was like, my poems are about a lot of people. And then she like walked off.
Well, I had a lot of people.
Are you running for office, man? Because that's a politician
shit,
answer.
But the thing is like I was telling him, I was like, you don't understand. Like a lot of the poems that I have, if you look at them, which you haven't, because I haven't let you read them yet.
Yeah.
I have them all like titled by media that inspires me. Like there's lines or there's like, you know, pieces of the story in songs or in other poems that I really latch onto, and I just kind of build a narrative off of that. Like I said, it's all storytelling. So half the time it's like, you know, if the shoe fits, I guess, right? But
Yeah,
just kidding.
It wasn't even like
Was it the
shoe
guy at
fits thing.
Saco?
It was like it
Or
did
whatever?
kind of feel.
It wasn't.
It did feel a little personal, but hey, whatever, man.
And
I'm just kidding, man.
what's the journey felt like for you from the pen to the stage, dude?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
I really enjoy performing my poems, but I feel like I like to entertain. I'm a big entertainer. I'm a big clown. I like to put on a show all the time. So it feels like I'm at home. Like I really enjoy it.
You like being the center of attention.
Yeah.
I think there's 3 of us right here that do exactly that.
Yeah.
We had this conversation not long ago, and it was pretty cool. It was about narcissism, and I think.
How do you deal with his narcissism?
Okay,
I'm playing.
I don't know. Because
I think we're both equally like.
Yeah,
as
But
narcissistic.
I
So this
don't
is-
want to say it's narcissism. It's confidence. It's self-confidence.
100% narcissism. Look, so
You're Are you calling me narcissist?
No. I'm saying, look.
He's
So
saying for himself.
okay,
Because I'll agree.
we took this test, right? And it was a test.
That's cute though at the end.
It was this test, and it was about like the different like levels of like your dark and your light side, and I think it had things like empathy and compassion.
Do you agree with the Sith?
And what was it? Empathy, compassion, and like
Narcissism, psychopathy,
yeah,
like all of this
psychopathy,
crazy stuff.
Machiavellianism, and I forget the other one. There was another one that was like good.
It didn't matter.
So, but
schizophrenia. Just nobody cares about that one.
But it was all these things, and like mine was like super high on the empathy and the compassion part, but also kind of high on the narcissism part. So
you're like a master manipulator.
And no, so the manipulator part would be Machiavellianism, and that one was low as fuck. But the narcissism one was like really high, and we had this conversation.
Yeah, because mine was higher than his, and I was all like, "Is it wrong to know that you deserve good things?" Like,
I think there's that, but it's because it's a lot about like self-involvement, and like being very enveloped in like, you know, the things that you do and like only you. And I was like, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I would get it if you thought there was like a sense of like superiority. Right?
Do you love anime? Do you like shoes? Because if you do, make sure you go and check out Gaiocho Hype and Hobbies. They have a website, gaiochohype.com. They got shoes. They got anime collectibles, trading card game things. I'm talking Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, Funko Pops. They've got some fucking dope-ass Naruto ones that I'm trying to buy. They have everything, dude. They've got amazing sneakers. I know you were trying to get your hands on some
Yeah,
dunks,
I've been
right?
trying to get some dunks, and then let you know this place is a place to go get them. You can go and check them out on 1003 Garfield Street here at Laredo, Texas. They're open Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. and Saturdays they're open from 5 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Make sure you check out their website, calle8hype.com, and use your discount code AOTB.
and you get 10% off anything in the entire store online. Again, from shoes to anime collectibles to trading cards. They also host Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments every Saturday.
Make sure you go and check that out. You can follow their Facebook page at facebook.com/calle8. That's calle8, the number 8 apparel. Or you can follow their Instagram at calle8, spelled out CALLEOCHO hype. HYPE.
Calle 8 Hype and Hobbies.
Yeah.
The best shop in town.
I love myself. That was the whole narcissist, whatever the fuck his name was. It was that whole. You ever hear that?
The parable of the Greek parable.
Did you ever read The Alchemist?
Tried to read it, and then I was like, "This is some self-absorbed garbage," and I threw it out.
Are you serious? You're joking? Yeah. So, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And he starts off
You have
the
to say his
story
name like I said it though.
No, he starts the story off with narcissist, right? Which was like, or I don't even know if it's narcissist or narcissius. I don't remember the fucking name.
The guy looks at himself and drowns himself in the fucking
looking in there
reflection.
so much he loves. Okay. So he tells that whole story, but like it relates to this whole thing about like the journey of somebody throughout the journey of growth, right, throughout the whole book. So, but we had this conversation. I was like, you know when it started? It started when we had that one podcast, the first episode back, when you were like, "Oh, Roger's 100% a narcissist."
Oh, whenever you texted me, and you're like, "Is he
I was like, "Do you think I'm narcissistic?" Right? And then
I was like, "Don't encourage him."
And then
they were texting me like back and forth. I was like, "What the fuck's going on?"
She's like, "No, babe, you know what? I get to you're not narcissistic."
And then to me, she was like,
and then later on, we were talking, and she's like, "Well, I mean, narcissism isn't a bad thing." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, I mean, like, I think like anybody who has any form of self-confidence is automatically going to be labeled narcissistic because we're in a culture where you can't like love yourself, you know?
I mean, there's healthy
right?
ways of expressing self-love, and then things that aren't healthy self-love things. I don't know. That didn't make any sense.
Well, yeah.
I think there's healthy ways to express
that's crossing
self-love,
that
and then
boundary,
there's
but
narcissism.
I don't know. I think that like especially that test we took. I thought that test was bullshit because
it's
it was
like
like,
rap and
do you
poetry,
deserve
like
to be treated well?
narcissism and
Yes.
self-love
Oh,
and
you're a
everything.
narcissist. Like, should I have said no, that I don't deserve to be treated well? Like,
No,
what?
we deserve to be treated well.
There
Communism
was
Manifesto.
There was this one about this conversation that we had, I think, with Franny. Franny was the one who was like, "Look, dude, I think the thing is that what did he say? He was like, in general, like in all the things that we do, things like podcasting, things like poetry, things like comedy, any sort of performance art, especially something where you're showcasing your personality and like your personal experiences and observations, any one of those things is going to lend themselves to narcissism because it is literally like, you know, it hinges on you having a personality to display, right? And a lot of people don't. A lot of people just kind of like conform and they just blend into the crowd. They're NPCs in the sense, right? Which is kind of a narcissistic thing to say, but
also factual.
To put a personality, to put it on display, and to like craft your art, and
it's all just work on
and
you and your brand.
Command an audience, right? Because
you're a walking brand, all right?
Yeah, your brand is yourself. Take care of
100%.
Yeah, when you go and you command an audience and stuff, like some people are going to view it as narcissism because it's like you've crafted or you've cared for yourself enough.
Some of the best to ever do it were some of the biggest narcissists, you know, like fucking, I don't know, badass orators of history. There's that
Chappelle.
Sure. Hitler, I was kind of thinking about Hitler.
Wow. Okay. What do you have to go straight to him, dude?
Because he's a great orator, probably one of the best in history.
Like straight to. Okay,
all right.
I'll end it.
The extremity.
Bill
There's this
Clinton.
Greek one that I can't fucking remember his name right now.
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton. I don't know if he was a great orator. Barack Obama was a great orator.
No, he was a great writer.
Yeah, and he was also not a real person.
True.
A collection of people, apparently, or something like that, right?
That's a myth. It's an urban myth.
Or is
hey,
it an urban
what the
myth
fuck
or
are we
an
doing
urban
for
legend?
40F next week?
It's next week already?
Motherfucker, next week is the first.
We're not doing it. Thank you guys for coming in. We'll find out by the end of this episode. We'll think of something, I think.
It is the next one, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, on
'cause
Friday.
it's the 6th.
Not this Friday, next Friday.
The 6th is I lost my train of thought. Point is, narcissism. And there was something that I was going to talk about originally when we got into this, and then I just completely...
Great orders of history.
Great order. But no. Like, we're going back to the idea of narcissism in general and self-love. Yeah, narcissism and self-love. There you go. I think that there's a fine line between both. And I don't know. What's to say that it is negative, right? Like, what? I don't know.
I think as long as you're not hurting anybody else, it's perfectly fine.
Right?
I think.
What if you're hurting yourself?
I think the real.
I guess that's subjective, right?
I think the real like negative thing about narcissism is the whole point behind that story, that anecdote or whatever.
Don't look in puddles or something like that.
No. The whole point of that was like you if you're so self-involved to the point where you don't even want to like look at flaws or you believe that you're flawless, like that is the narcissism that has that like negative connotation to it, because then it's like
you stunt your growth if you don't.
You stunt,
see where
yeah,
you need
exactly. That's a
improvement.
big part of it. You stunt your growth. It's just like a lot of people who, have been doing the same jokes for 7 years. Like those are people who, like, you don't really stop to think that you've got any sort of flaws or any room for growth. So instead of doing that, you just try to shit on everybody else, and then in the end, you end up looking like a moron, right? So it's like that.
Who are you talking about?
Call out post, right? Call out post.
Instead of that, you just walk off stage wearing your fucking black shoes, and then next thing you know, you're calling people more. I was like,
I just
whoa. Who are you talking about?
I'm not saying anyone. I'm not saying anyone specific. I'm just saying like
your mind, dude,
when we do this, I'm saying in terms of like the relative conversations that we've had with like comedy, right? Like that's the one thing I can speak to.
Let's talk about your last comedy show. That was an experience.
It was an experience, yeah.
How'd you feel?
I loved it actually.
Yeah, you had a good time?
I thought I had a solid set. I had a lot of very good drinks after having not drank in like 2-3 weeks.
First of all, those drinks were good.
They were fucking good.
So we so we went to
Rebecca Distillery.
Big Mac Productions
BMP.
puts on a show called Dub XL Comedy. I co-headlined with Drew Blues, and then on that bill was Victor Mendoza hosting. He's a comic out of San Antonio. Jimmy Smoltich from Austin, and then there was another guy named Seabear, who was from where? I didn't even remember.
Alabama.
That's right. He was from Alabama,
if I remember correctly.
And he was doing a guestie, and then Drew, right, which is also from San Antonio. So I got on that show. I showed up. The place was beautiful. Xio and I drove up there. We were looking for a place to fucking eat, but everything in San Antonio gets packed on a Saturday. So
went to Old Faithful, all reliable.
Yeah, we went to Whataburger.
The fifth branch of the Texas government.
Yeah, the U.S. Embassy, the Texas Embassy, the Whataburger.
Because HEB is the fourth branch, and then Whataburger is number 5.
We went there and we got our food, whatever. I got that southern
because it's
bacon
fire
burger. Oh my god, I had never tried it before.
It's fucking great. Yeah.
So I had that, whatever. Then we get to the distillery. Rebecca Creek Distillery was the venue, and they have this like it's the setup is like they have this gift shop / bar up at the front, right? They have a food truck park and like a little stage outside, and then they have an office building and a private event building. And we were going to be in the private event building. So we went first to go look around, and I got a Moscow mule mug, and I got this thing that they called the whiskey mule, right? Or just the mule. They called it. They were just
modern Moscow mule. No.
They were just calling it the mule, I think.
Maybe, I don't remember.
I don't know, but it was a Moscow mule, but instead of gin or vodka, right? They used whiskey. And it was whiskey, ginger ale, some lemon, and they muddled something else in there. I don't remember what. It was fucking amazing.
It was like interesting to say the least, because I tried it. I got the same things. I was like, your cup looks cool. It looks cold. And I was like, I can't try it from yours because you're just coming off of COVID, so I'm just going to have to fucking get one. And then I got one, and then the guy got his little bullshit paper cup, and I was like, can I get a cool cup? And he was like, you could buy it. And I was like, oh, well, should have told me that in the beginning. But yes, give me that.
It was a deal, though, dude.
It was a good deal, yeah. But what I fucking taking the long way to say that it kind of at first tasted like medicine, but I wasn't against it. And I was like, I will take this medicine. And I did. After
got a what?
And you were
mixing it-
cured.
Yeah, dude, I was cured.
What did you get? You got something too, right? Was it the
I got
sunrise?
I was
I
cured
got a
of my
pink
sobriety.
lady, and it wasn't pink, so I was very disappointed. But it tasted really
Whack.
good. And that was like a strawberry lemonade vodka thing with Sprite.
That sounds amazing.
It was good. But then I got a Texas Sunrise, which was some other
That sounds
vodka
even
with
better.
orange juice, and that was so good, and had like a little cherry on top.
It
so
looked
was
badass in your
beautiful.
cup, and I was just like, "Fuck."
Yeah, it
Dude,
was super
everything
good.
everything there was great. So Rebecca Creek Distillery, they don't sell anything other than the stuff that they brew there because that's the kind of license that they have as a distillery. So they have the Rebecca
Queef. Rebecca's queef.
they have the Rebecca Creek Distillery, or they have Rebecca Creek whiskey, and they have
Vodka gin.
Enchanted Rock vodka. And the vodkas, like you mentioned, they're flavored.
Yeah,
They have
really
like a
good.
bunch of different ones, and the
We-
whiskey is just the whiskey.
We tried a peanut butter.
we
whiskey.
tried a peanut butter whiskey.
that tasted like Reese's Puffs.
It was
Wow.
fucking dangerous. Dude.
I was like, this is not a good idea to
Yeah,
have.
because I was almost gonna buy a bottle, and because it was just so good, and I was just like, dude, I could drink this on the rocks. It tastes like I'm drinking a fucking, like a Reese's Puff. Yeah, like it was
Like
great.
you were just eating a bowl of
Yeah,
Reese's Puffs and,
and
just drank the milk
getting
after.
drunk. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but instead I kept getting those mules all night. Now here's the thing, we want to talk about the experience about what happened at that show, right? So it was like I went, you guys were the crowd.
Yeah.
it was
I saw.
Xio, Josh, Marlene, and Marlene's roommate Evelyn.
Yeah.
And everyone showed up, and everybody was kind of, they fucking they are surprised, legitimately surprised whenever somebody shows up for me at a show. It's happened to me in Austin. It's happened to me in San Antonio. It's happened to me in McAllen.
Do they think that you're just whoever? or
I
what?
guess so, but I mean, I am just whoever. But they get
No, dude.
But for them to be,
You're not even just whoever. You're like a Laredo legend, dude.
fuck off. So whenever they do this thing, when they go like, oh yeah, oh you bring people to the show, that's impressive from Laredo, so I'm like kind of like I get offended sometimes, and I'm like, well, dude, whatever,
You
right?
think we're not talented?
For real.
So-
Like, are they from Mexico? Do they have green cards? What's going on here?
Are we gonna get rated right now?
So you
Well, let me
guys,
see some ID.
you guys showed up, and I remember Victor going, "Oh shit, you know them?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, those are my friends, whatever." And as y'all came up, and I said, "What's up to everybody?" Then they were like, "Oh, we might have a show, whatever, right?"
With 3 people, right?
You were the only ones that showed up, right? And I don't know if it was like an issue with the promotion or something like that, or if that's just how the room is regularly. But we had just you guys, and then some people showed up, and then they left, and then Victor tells me like, "Oh, hey man, you know what? I'm sorry that you drove all the way out here. I already paid you. I wanted to take care of the comics first, but I think we're gonna pull the plug." And we're like, "What the fuck, man?" So I was like, "Whatever, man. I guess like if you need to do that." I performed to a crowd of like 2 people before. Like,
Those are pretty much like the cold brew mics on Mondays. Like,
Sure, yeah. Those they're on Wednesdays.
Wednesdays, yeah.
But we went to
oh, so that's tonight, right?
that is tonight.
Oh,
yeah.
you're not even gonna be here. Never mind.
No. But we went to so we were just hanging outside, and he was telling me like we're gonna do that, or I'm gonna try to work something else out. Outside at Rebecca Creek, they had that main stage of the food truck area, and there was just a girl playing like country covers, and so
I have a funny story about that.
So
from my point of view, in a second.
Victor was trying to get the manager to just be like, hey, let's just take the comedy show out there and let's just do the comedy show there. I was like, that'd be fun, dude. I'm down for that. And then the manager was like, nah, we're not going to do that. So we were about to pull the plug. And then all the comics were like, dude, fuck it, dude. Like, we'll perform to 3 people, even though they're all here for Roger. And I was like, dude, it's not like that. Like, well, let's just do it. I'm down to do it. Come on. And I had already, since I thought they were going to cancel it, I ordered like 2 more Moscow Mules. I normally don't want to get too drunk before a show. Whatever. I drank. And then right before I'm about to go on stage, CEO comes up to me and she goes, "You're drunk, right?" And I was like,
You're
"What?"
drunk.
I was like,
Your fucking eyes.
I
You can
was
even
like,
open your
"What?"
eyes, bro.
I was like, what? She goes, your
I
eyes.
have COVID.
She's like, your eyes are so small.
This episode is also brought to you by Porvida Tattoos, open all the way back in 2014. If you want to get your first ink, or if you already have a bunch of tattoos and you want to get more tattoos, that's the place to fucking go. Go to porvidacs.com to book your appointment now. Let them know we sent you. Supporting our sponsors helps keep us alive and helps expand our production and bring you better shit. So again, go to porvidacs.com. Tell them we sent you. Book your appointment now. And also follow them on Instagram at Porvida Tattoos. That's at Porvida Tattoos on Instagram. Go show some love.
Hey, also show some love to our other sponsor, Consafos Print Co. They have hand printed T-shirts, amazing quality. They have stickers, they have pins, they have keychains. Make sure you check out their store at consafosprintco.com and follow them at CS Print Co as well. I personally own some of their own shirts.
I'm wearing one of them right now.
Oh yeah, they have excellent print quality. They're super comfortable, and they last long as shit. Actually,
They really do. Just got my hands on the Boys Don't Cry and No Pasa Nada one.
My favorite one is the Boys Don't Cry one. Make
It's
sure you
fucking
check it
fire.
out. Go and check it out again on consafosprintco.com or follow them on IG at CS Print Co. And I was like, what are you talking about? But yes, I was a little tipsy, and I had a fucking killer set, dude. I had a good time. The people that walked in at the show, there was maybe like 8 more people that came in.
I want to say there was maybe like 15 people.
At
the
maybe
end,
in
like,
total,
in total,
yeah,
right?
at the
Yeah.
end. Including the comics, but it was a good little crowd. Had a shit ton of fun. The people in the front were interactive, and it wasn't like, super distracting. They were
It was
funny.
borderline belligerent.
It was funny. Oh no, I think the only one that got belligerent was that guy who said he was gonna kick my ass.
Who?
I couldn't see his face, but he was bald. So I was like, he might mean business.
It's because so I tell this joke where I say,
Don't
like,
give it away, dude.
I play around with the crowd or whatever, and I say this one thing, and then I'm like,
I
picked.
remember.
I tell them I picked on you specifically because you look like somebody that used to bully me a lot in high school, right? I normally will say something like that, and the guy goes, he goes, I'll fucking bully you right now. And that shit cracked me the fuck up. I was like, and then me, because I was drunk and like to have that demeanor on stage, I'm like, yeah, I like to see you try, bitch. And then he just stared at me, and he got up and he was like, he didn't get up, but he scooted his chair
Like,
back,
postured up.
and he's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, man, you look like you read Cliff Notes to do AR reader tests. And then I was like, damn, that was a shitty roast.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going. Fuck you. Just kept going. But he looked mad at that point. And then he started lighting up and laughing.
And he was
all
like,
the
oh,
time.
this is a comedy show.
Yeah, exactly.
Duh.
There was another lady who said something during the show, and I just told her to shut the fuck up. And then everybody laughed. So, but I enjoy like smaller rooms sometimes just because like they're fun. I'll fucking kill the shit out of a big room, but the smaller rooms, they're a little tougher to do, but they're a lot more fun once you start getting like really like you start interacting a little bit more with the crowd. So it was fun. I had a good time. Everybody enjoyed it, and every one of the comics did well in that one, I think.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
agree. It was good to see a lineup that wasn't like gonna crash and burn for 25 minutes and
Yeah.
just have like a popper and on it. But when we first got there, Marlene, myself, and Evelyn, well, first of all, we were like, I was about to turn into the place, and then they were like, no, it doesn't look like you can park there. And I was like, but there's vehicles like inside that look to be parked. I was like, whatever. We ended up parking outside. And as we're walking up, I hear what I believe to be like the country singer girl covering like Island Boy or something.
Oh shit!
Because I
Shut up.
could not make out what the fuck she was saying.
Oh.
And I was, it sounded like that. And I was like, and I even said, I was like, this bitch out here like fucking doing a country cover of Island Boy or some shit. Like, what's going on right now? And I was very confused because there was a lot of different buildings. And for some reason, I guess Marlene probably read the flyer better than I
She
did.
texted me. She's like, where are y'all at? I'm like, we're at the building all the way to
Yeah.
the left. And she's like, okay.
And she was like, building C. And I was like, how do you know this? Like, what the fuck? Okay, let's go that way, I guess. And then once we got there, we saw like all the comics and shit. I was like, walked into building C or whatever, smelled like oak, which was cool. First
the
of all,
barrels.
yeah, I was just like, damn, it fucking smells like Lagavulli up in here or whatever. And then saw your drink, and I was like, I want one of those first of all because they look fucking good. And I honestly thought that it was gonna like for any reason or another, I just assumed that it was gonna be like packed out or something. And then I was like, where is everybody? It's like fucking 8:15.
I was telling him there was a point where we were there waiting with everybody, and the comics all left, and we were just like sitting down, like way in the back, because he was charging his phone, like whispering to each other. And I was like, I feel like we're at a funeral, like we're not supposed to be
straight
talking.
up,
Shit, dude. My opening joke was saying that I really enjoy performing at places that look like they could be for cult meetings. And this place is one of the best, right?
Yeah.
It's like we're a couple candles shy of a cult meeting here, because it did look a little like super formal.
Yeah,
it looked like a lecture room.
Yeah, like it was gonna be a fucking.
It did look
class.
like you were about to give me a fucking sermon or some shit.
Yeah, but why do you bring up that thing? You just wanted me to talk about it?
Yeah, because I wanted to see like your point of view in it. Because for me, like I was disheartened as fuck, and I was just in the audience, like, what the fuck, you know what I mean?
You were disheartened? That's
initially,
oh, okay.
like, before it went into, like, the actual show, and then,
Bro,
as it went on, I was like, all right, I've been at worse places.
The disheartening one was the fucking upstage one that you went
oh
to.
my god, that was intense.
God damn.
That was intense.
And I keep making this joke about how like every time I go somewhere in San Antonio, I bring half the crowd or more, or the crowd, and which in both cases so far at Rebecca Creek and Upstage have been true because I bring like 3 or 4 people and that's it.
That's it.
But Upstage was disappointing. It's a great club.
And that was a fucking dope ass club.
It was a great club. It's an actual comedy club, not like just like a room that you can get. But and no offense to any of the other places, I still had a shit ton of fun there. And they're rooms are rooms. If you can get them in a place to perform and you can pack it out, then cool.
You think we could pack it out here for a little room?
We could do a live audience podcast here within the next 6. Hey, we haven't even talked about that.
What live audience podcast?
Hey,
what are you talking about?
No, I'm saying we haven't even talked about the fact that we've got a fucking studio now.
Oh yeah, it's true. This isn't what it's gonna look like, but
no,
this is just
not completely. But we got the purple couch.
Yeah,
we got the arms.
We got arms.
We got the arms. We got a table.
We got stables.
We have a table that I keep telling Josh that I can. If I feel like if I put my foot up on,
and we both had our feet up there.
We
just
had our feet on
ago.
it. Yeah, so I take it back.
Yeah,
we're pending.
You can fuck on this table, dude.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
can't come. Dude, I body slammed the shit out of that table.
I don't know, man.
I fucking crack it in half right now.
I stood on it before y'all got here.
No, you fucking didn't.
Yeah, I did.
I want to see you do it right now.
Okay, well, I mean, once you finish recording, I'll do it.
No, we don't have to. Not when it finishes. I want to see you do it right now.
No, dude, I can't leave my duties.
What duties?
I'm over here, dude. You see all this stuff? You see all this stuff over here, dude?
Bars moving.
You see lights and shit? Come on, man. This is an easy work right here.
So let's talk COVID experiences since now everybody in this room has had COVID.
Mine was whack, and I felt like I didn't have COVID.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you just get sniffles or something?
I was congested and had like a heavy headache the first day and a half. And then like the rest of the like 5 or 6 days.
Take anything?
Did I take anything? I just did like teas and shit.
Okay.
Teas, that was about it. And like my parents were like, take all of this, and I was like, I don't feel that crazy. Marlene had a shit out of the stick. Like the first 2 nights she was like fever, like chills and shit, and I had to be like hugging her and like whatever. And but for me it was just like a annoying because it was just like a low grade headache for like almost a week. But the first day and a half was like, I can't stand my headache. And it would come in like waves. And that was about it.
What about you?
And it really
I had a really, really bad headache, really bad body aches, and like zero appetite. And then Roger kept trying to like shove vitamins and pills down my throat, and I just don't believe in medicine, so I didn't want to take any.
I'm gonna go absorb the sun rays, and that'll cure me.
But yeah, like I didn't like even want to like stand up. Like I think I like would go to like shower and just like lay on the floor because it hurt to stand, like it hurt to move. And my head was I was just so exhausted. Like it was just super fatigued. But then like on the 4th day, I was fine.
Yeah. I think fatigue was another thing that I had. Because I recall just kind of being like, me.
Yeah, like I don't want to be alive right now.
I never lost my appetite though.
Yeah, I didn't eat for like 2 days.
I had from my then job, I had like fucking I don't know how many hundreds of dollars of like Texas Roadhouse gift cards. So we just had like a feast on one of the nights.
Roadhouse.
Yeah, Roadhouse rules. So let's talk about Roger that got like possibly a new variant of.
It was crazy. Here's what happened. I started off, I think like Tuesday night. This was 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. I started off Tuesday night with a really like subtle headache. And the thing is that I've been getting into Fortnite a lot recently because they have that zero build thing. So I've just been gaming with my friends. And I was staying up that night to play, and I started getting a headache like around 12. And I'm like, okay, maybe I've been playing too much. And then I started getting a fever, and I'm normally like, I have allergies. So like I normally will have like a post-nasal drip, which will cause me to cough a lot. But I ended up, just getting like really bad runny nose. And I was just like, what the fuck? And I was like, I feel like I'm getting sick. So I lay down, wake up, Xio was going to work the next day. I had the day off. So I was getting up already. And I just feel like, oh my God, I'm fucking burning up right now. What the fuck? So I went and I took my temperature with a little thermometer that we had gotten specifically because everybody else in the house was fucking getting COVID. So I checked it and it was at like 99. I'm like, oh, not bad, but maybe I'm getting a little bit warm. I should get something to eat. And I went and I drank some water because I couldn't stomach anything. And then I laid down and I wake up maybe like 30 minutes later and I'm fucking burning up. Like I have a headache. I feel weak. I feel super like lethargic. And I get up and I like shuffle to the restroom. I check my temperature again. Fucking 102.5. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? So I went, I showered. And then when I laid down and I started texting Xio, I was telling her like, hey, you need a favor over some stuff. Or I'm going to favor over some stuff, or we need to get like vitamins or whatever. Because I have COVID. I took the test. That's one part that I missed. I took a test and I had COVID. And
how many questions were on this test?
I took an at-home test and it was like yes or no, and yes.
It was like a little map with the arrow.
And
you are here, COVID.
And yeah, dude, I started feeling it, and I say it started getting me really bad. And so like the next 2 days, and so I tell Xio, I was like, it's really nice that you gave your partner hugs and cuddles and everything, because Xio was like, fucking die if you have to.
Wow, dude.
Well, first of all, we were both positive.
He like left me in the room. He'd be like, take your medicine and shut the door. And I was like,
you just open the room and throw pills at you.
He'd like open your mouth.
Not even, because she wouldn't want to take it. She wouldn't want to take any fucking pills for anything. So it was like,
I think women in general are like anti-pills.
Are they?
Unless it's birth control. He was
like, you take Xanax, and I was like, it's different.
I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, and you know the reasoning behind it? She was like, I don't want to take any like Tylenol or anything like that, because I feel like if I take it, it's gonna lessen the effect later for
like I'm gonna get immune to it or something when I actually do want it.
For when I don't have COVID.
For when I do need it, I'm like, you need it now. And then I had gotten all of the fucking vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin
K,
vitamin B, and then what was it? Zinc, iron, all of the bullshit, right?
All the shit, dude.
And
you should just take those every day.
And so, yeah, I know. I've been on a regimen of it every day since she got COVID, which was back in January. So I wasn't expecting it to hit me that hard, because I was like, dude, I'm vaxxed. My immune system
you
is
weren't
like
waxed. Though.
I wasn't waxed. I got my immune system is going badass off of this regimen of pills that I take every day. Like I should be good. And it fucking hit me like a train, bro. I attribute it maybe a little bit to the fact that I like smoke cigarettes, so maybe that's one thing. But I don't know. And I reported it to work, right? And my job, they're like, oh, okay, well, you need to get some days off, whatever, this and that. We need to confirm it's an active infection. I don't know what. And so I told them, right? I was like, yeah, I'm feeling sick as shit. This is what's happening, whatever. I went to work on Easter Monday after all this.
That's not a thing.
I look. So I what is it? Good Monday? I don't fucking know.
It's just
Bad
Easter
Monday 'cause
and
we
then
didn't
just
get the day off.
yeah.
To
Whatever.
celebrate.
Anyway, so I was sick throughout all that weekend, and then, dude,
Heasters.
what happened? Oh, so yeah, so the 2 days, the worst days, Wednesday and Thursday, fever of like 103. It would fluctuate. I would have it like really high sometimes, and then it would like
Did
just
you
go
ever
back
get
down to
106.1, dude?
No, never 106. I wasn't at the San Vida house level.
You went that high.
If I was at the 107.3, dude, I would have been
yeah.
fucking hallucinating. But I literally almost told Xio at one point, I was like, you're not taking me to the hospital. I'm having a really hard time breathing. I can't fucking move. And like, I feel awful right now. And she was like, did you favor the stuff? Like,
I didn't say that. You yelled at
She
me
was like,
because
"So what's for
I didn't
dinner?"
get you. The favor didn't pick it up.
So Favor didn't fucking bring me my medicines. I just put fever reducers and Pedialyte.
But there was something going on there because when I tried to favor too, like their card system just wasn't running or something because they were like, I can't run the thing, and they just canceled it. So I was like, well, thanks for letting me know. I've been waiting for like an hour.
So I was just in bed dying, and then Xio gets home, and I'm like, babe, did you bring the stuff? And she's like, what stuff? I'm like, are you fucking serious? And then she's like, I thought you favored it. I was like, no, they canceled it. Like I never was able to get it.
He like hallucinated that he texted
So
me that though.
probably, I don't know, but like, no, it's definitely in the text somewhere. But
but you messaged me when I was at the doctor, and then you were like, because I was sick too. I had a super bad sinus infection, and then he was again. I didn't take medicine for it, right? Because I got over it. But I went to go get checks. I thought I had strep. So but then he was like, "Hurry up and just come back home." So I was like, "What do you want me to do?"
I just needed the stuff because I felt super dehydrated. I kept trying to drink water and all this other stuff, and I just kept feeling like I was puking at some point too. My stomach was all messed up, and then what was it? The next day, I started feeling a little bit better. I think by Friday it was a little bit more like cleared up, but Saturday and Sunday I just had this like. This body ache that was just fucking awful, dude. I felt crippled. It was like I'd wake up and I just feel like I would like shuffle everywhere. Just I felt like I was not. I don't know. I just wasn't at my 100%.
Did you ever feel like you were gonna die?
Did
you ever panic?
The time that I texted her saying like I might need to go to the hospital, I was panicking a little bit.
You're like,
because I was like, I'm not gonna be able to get the medication until she gets out. I feel like complete shit right now. I was in the shower and like I had just the cold water running so I could like get the fever down, and I was just there like as all the water was like hitting me, I was doing this thing. I was just like, and I was having like a really hard time breathing. And then once I went and I laid down, the fever reduced a little bit, and I just like drank a lot of water, and I coughed out a shit ton of phlegm. Afterwards, I felt like I could breathe, and I felt a lot better. Then Monday rolled around, right? So Monday, I get to work, and I'm just like, dude, I don't feel good at all, right? Like I feel like complete shit. And we were having to sit in the library for like a training or whatever, because the kids had the day off, but the teachers didn't. So I was coughing up a bunch still, and so I went to the restroom and I coughed, and there was blood. It was just, and dude, it wasn't blood like there's a little spot of blood in my phlegm. It's like I coughed, I spat out like phlegm, and then I spat again, and it was like all blood, and I kept doing it. I was like, and I was like, what the fuck? So I was freaking myself out. I looked it up, and it was like, oh yeah, apparently you just you're coughing a shit ton, so that's what it is. I'm like, okay, cool. I went to as I get out of the restroom, one of the what are they, clerks, I guess? I don't know. One of the admin people comes up to me and is like, she hands me a box, and then she's like, take a COVID test right now. And I was like, oh, okay, right. And they went and they took it. And then they were like, go home. You might have an active infection still. There's a variant going around right now, and they've instructed us to do this and that. So I had to report it to HR. HR had to wait to clear me for me to go back to work. And every day they would just have me like on the phone. Then the Laredo Health Authority called me. And they called me and they were like, we need details on like where you were, where you caught the infection, where you think you caught the infection. how many days of fever did you have? They did like a whole bunch of shit. And I was like, is there a reason why they're giving me this stuff? Because, we have to report it through school, right? I was like, is there a reason why I'm getting like all these questions? And they were like, well, we believe that there's like a new variant and they're still kind of deciding what like the plan is, whether we should like do something for like virtual, like go back to like virtual teaching, or just extend the amount of COVID days that we give for our teachers whenever they're out or whatever. Because apparently after I left on Monday and I had like, again another fucking 5 days off or whatever, when I got back on Tuesday, yesterday, when I got back to work yesterday, I was talking to one of my coworkers. When my coworker tells me, she was like, dude, there were so many teachers out, they were talking about canceling school. I was like, really? It's because, we almost didn't have enough subs. They were getting people to, some of the paraprofessionals to substitute the classes.
Like, damn, that's my cue. Peace.
And they were like, yeah, all of the parking lot was like practically empty because of how many teachers we had out. And I'm like, oh, okay, so there's an outbreak at our school, right? Like that's what, and I know who I fucking got it from. There's a little kid I was tutoring, who was coughing up a whole bunch, and I remember this. It was maybe like a week or like 4 days before I came out positive. He was at the table and he'd be like, and he'd just like cough like that. I'm like, dude, put on your mask, right? And he'd put it up and he'd just be like, and he'd put his fucking mask back on. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
That defeats the purpose.
So then I go to work, I go to lunch, I come back and the kid's not there anymore. And they take all of the kids out of the room. And then they bring in this like machine that
and they
like
bleach them.
That they do like a disinfecting thing inside of the room. And so I knew since that one kid was gone, he tested positive for COVID. They won't tell you. They can't tell you.
Yeah, because it's
so. But I knew that.
Sure,
but if they went and they disinfected everything, it's because of that. So I knew. I was like, I hadn't caught it up until now, right? And when I did catch it, I catch this like one kind of aggressive variant or whatever, and it was just bad. So now all I'm feeling is I've got like some leftover congestion. I occasionally just do feel that like the energy
like
drop.
Fatigue or whatever.
Yeah, the fatigue. I definitely feel that. But everything else, it kind of feels just kind of.
How did all the spooky shit going on at your house like affect your COVID experience?
Well, so we didn't have.
Damn. It didn't start until after all of that.
Oh,
it
for
just
real?
randomly started, right?
It was during last week.
Yeah, but it just like randomly like
Well,
it like nothing since we moved in, and then all of a sudden it starts and it happens like every day now.
You've got some itchy setas on your ass, dude.
Well, so
got some haters.
Xio has a lot of haters.
Because I'm so beautiful.
There's one hater that we think specifically that's been,
Sending
rolling the
malas
dice.
vibras
yeah,
over here.
giving her shit. And I think how they say that like plants absorb like negative energy and stuff like that.
All your plants
This
died.
bitch killed my orchid, dude.
No,
We had an orchid that I got her for
Valentine's Day.
I just got Marlene like sunflowers when she came back from South Dakota because like I wasn't there, so I was like got her sunflowers so she would get home to them, and then like within like a couple of days they were just like
Yeah,
I was like, yo,
they absorb
what
the
the
bad
fuck?
energy.
Yeah, so it started.
From the bottom.
This Easter, it started on Easter. Remember, with the Xbox,
Oh, that's right.
it started playing games. I'm just kidding.
so my Xbox is set up, and I thought this one was explained well. I think it was before that. Remember, because I told you that I heard that sound of like someone jumping.
No,
on,
that was Sunday night because the kids weren't with us that Sunday because we worked the next day.
So it was the
remember?
same day.
It was that same night.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So we were sitting down. We were watching the Halo series, actually. What were we watching? Moon Knight. We were watching Moon Knight. When we were sitting, there's a new episode today. Oh, anyway, so when we were sitting down, we were like on our phones and we were just like talking, and my Xbox, or like anyone's Xbox can do this, but the Xbox, it's set up to whenever I turn it on, it turns on my TV, and whenever I turn it off, it turns off my TV. Right? It's as simple as that. I don't use the fucking TV for anything else. When we were like sitting there and like talking, whatever, all of a sudden we just hear like, and and it turns off my TV, right? And I turned.
I was like, you fucking did that, didn't
She
you?
was like, you did, yeah, because I can control it from my phone.
Yeah, with
but
the fucking
I showed her. I was
companion.
like, what the fuck, dude? I didn't do anything. Like, look, if I had it open, like it would even show up on my last like used apps or whatever. But I haven't opened it. And then she was like, then what the fuck? And I was like, maybe the remote for the TV is like under you somewhere, and if you moved or whatever, it turned off. And she's like, no, it's not down there or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, I don't fucking know, dude. I didn't turn it off. So that was that, right? Then that same night, the kids weren't there, right? The kids
Yeah, they
weren't.
stayed with my mom.
The kids weren't there at the place, so we were falling asleep, or we had fallen asleep. I woke up at like 2, sometime like that, right? And when I went to the restroom, when I was on my way there, I heard the sound of like, I guess one of the kids like jumping on the bed, because it's a very specific sound that you hear that it's like, right? And I was
like
oh,
the springs and shit.
yeah, the springs. And so I went to the restroom first, and then I went and I was gonna go check on the kids, because I was like, well, that means they're still awake and they should be asleep right now. And then as I was going to the door, I'm like, they're not home right now. What the fuck?
Did you open the door?
I didn't. I didn't want to.
Should have fucking opened
I was like, fuck that. So I just went and I went back to bed. And then what was it like? So that was the time that I went back to work, and then they
It was on Tuesday. Whenever we
I went back to work. Then they told me to not fucking go to work, and so I had the week off. And on Tuesday we were hanging out in the morning. I think you also had
yeah, because
since you were
Mr.
feeling
Positive
sick.
over here.
Yeah, so she had the day off of work. So in the morning we were just hanging out, and we were talking about like what we were gonna make for breakfast and what we were gonna do that day or whatever, right?
And
then the
the door. By the way, the door was shut, like shut, and we just hear
like to the place.
the
to our
door
room.
to our room.
Oh, doors
Yeah.
your room. Okay.
And
To
so
our
we
room.
just hear, like, you legit hear like the doorknob turn, and the door just opens, and I was like, who the fuck turned my doorknob? You know, and I was thinking, like, was it my cat? Was it my dog? You know, like if they have hands, but like it was super creepy.
Yeah, one, ghost doesn't jump that high,
Yeah.
right? Two, like Crookshanks doesn't ever do
She
that
just
either.
screams at the door.
Yeah, she just meows. But so I like, and so we were there, and then she like the door just, and we turn, we look. I turned, looked at her, and I was like, what the fuck? And then she was like, what the fuck? Did you do that? Are you fucking with me? I'm like, I'm laying down right here next to you.
Are
And
you
then
here?
so she was like, who opened the door? I'm like, I don't fucking know. And so we got up to go, like, you know, see what was up, and obviously nothing there.
And then it happened again another day because he left to go get tacos, and I was laying in the room, and Ghost gets up and he just like stares at the door, which I thought was strange. And the door again, the doorknob, I hear it turn, and then the door opens, and I was like, whoa! I was like, pay some rent if you're gonna
For
live here
real.
for free.
At least knock before
Wait,
you
but you
enter.
know what? I told you there was a ghost in the bathroom because the lights were always flickering. So
We had
maybe.
this weird thing where, like, I just told Theo maybe they're just shitty light bulbs, but because all of the lights, we have 4 lights that are like on the mirror, right, and then we have 2 lights up top that are meant to be like for the shower, and all of them, like one by one, just started like flickering, like, and then it does this weird thing, dude, where like when we turn off the switch, one of the lights turns on really bright and then turns off. And she was like, "Oh, maybe it's sending messages or whatever the fuck."
The ghost
And I
was
was
trying
like,
to talk to us.
I was like, maybe it's just something electrical going on. Like maybe they're just shitty light bulbs, dude. Like if you put shitty light bulbs in a room, in a bathroom where there's like a lot of steam and shit, they're gonna fuck up. And then she was like, "No, it's ghosts." I'm like, okay. And I was the one playing skeptic this time, but things have just kind of also just been a little bit weird, you know. Like sometimes I'll hear like Xio say stuff, and I'll be like, "Huh?" And then she's like, "No, I didn't say anything." I'm like, "Well, you sure?" Like there's a lot of stuff like that happens.
What if you were just hearing her thoughts? But she didn't say it.
Sometimes we say that we can kind of read each other's thoughts sometimes, right?
Because that happens to Marlene and I a lot.
The one time I was like, "Why are you thinking about me crying?" And he was like, "How do you know that?" And I was like, "I do. I just do."
And then he made you cry after.
No, I think it's cute when she cries.
So he makes me cry. On
No,
purpose.
I think it's cute when she cries.
I love your
but
tears.
she whenever can I say it? Whenever she drinks,
Yeah.
whenever we go out, like when she drinks, whatever, we're like laying down, and she's just like, "I'm so happy. I just love you so much." And I'm like, "I love you too," and I think it's really cute when she does it. So
shout out to cuteness, dude.
but
Shout out to love.
but sometimes like I'll hear I'll hear her voice and I'll have to remind myself, oh, she's not fucking home right now. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, so like it's
But you know what? That's what you get because he's always trying to freak me out. He's like, "There's something in our closet. It's gonna crawl out at night," and I'm just like, "Shut up! Why do you say that? Like, why do you say those things?" He's like, "What if you wake up and there's just somebody standing right there?" Like the stupidest things. I'm like, "Why do you tell
It's
me?"
'cause
this
we
when
I
I'm
have to learn.
asleep?"
I have to learn how to like not say those things to Marlene because she freaks out a lot easier.
it's because we watch Nuke's Top 5 like right before bed, so sometimes it's just fun.
Those
to
are all
listen.
shitty, dude.
Most of them,
They're
yeah.
all the ones
There hasn't
lately have
a
been so
good
fake.
one. Yeah, there hasn't been a good one in like a year.
Except the one of the lady in the mirror. That one was creepy.
Which one?
The one where the lady's like she's pregnant and she's weighing herself and
Oh,
her
that's
reflection doesn't move when she moves. Oh, that was weird.
I don't think I've seen that one. Is that one of the recent
It's
ones?
one of
I
the
think so,
recent
but
ones.
yeah,
It's
that's like
last
the only
actually.
one out of like the last like 7 episodes that we've seen that have been good that
Yeah.
don't look completely
All
I've
fake.
been debating like unsubscribing for a while. To be honest.
I don't give a shit. Like, I'll still keep it subscribed or whatever, but I just don't like. I don't like the episodes where they put like the actual ghost hunting people on there.
Oh, that's
Like
so
the guys with all the fucking tattoos. I hate that
the
fucking one.
twins or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, I
I
fucking
hate that
hate
one.
them so much, dude.
I hate all these ones who are like, whoa, dude, did you fucking see that, Tyler? And they're like, oh, man, no way. And
And they like punch a wall.
Yeah, I hate it. They're like, dude, I was standing right here and like my friend over there. And then we just heard something. It was fucking wild. And then they do like a slow motion replay. And then it's just a guy like,
Them reacting.
yeah, it's just like, yeah, every single time. And then of course, Nuke's just fucking rehashing it, right? Like,
Yeah.
these two brothers say that they heard something between them, as you can hear with this enhanced audio. And then it's like them talking like, yeah, man, fucking. And then in the background, you hear, I don't know. Okay, oh, shit.
It's a hamster.
Dude. It's just, I don't know.
Is that
we
what
can
you hear?
recreate something like that, though. We could totally do
I
that.
feel like there's so many skits that we could do.
Absolutely, yeah. We could do that. I think that one skit idea that the guy had about the scoffing.
Oh yeah.
There's this the comic Sea Bear, right? He learned the word scoff for the first time. And he was just like, "What the fuck is a scoff?" It's like
he scoffed at the word scoff, which is funny.
He started googling it, and he's like, "How do you even spell that?" I'm like, SCOOF, right?
That's
that's
SCOOF. SCOFF, right? Scoff.
Yeah.
I was like, it's like that, right? And then he looks it up. And he's like, oh, yeah, whatever, right? And so he just started using it in random things. He's like, man, this comedy show is scoffed. I was like, are you just going to use this shit in, like, all the wrong terms? He's like, yeah, absolutely. Scoff. That was funny. But, yeah, totally. We could do some sketches.
Dude, I just got a good idea for one. And I met some of Marlene's friends this past weekend, and I met this girl named Stephanie, and she's like does modeling or whatever the fuck. But she's originally from London, but she's been living in Texas long enough to where like you can't hear her accent anymore. But it'll randomly pop out of nowhere, which is like hilarious. You know what I mean? Like just out of fucking nowhere, just an English ass accent. Like, and it happened.
Try
like,
it. Let me hear it.
I can't even. I sound
Come
like
on,
fucking.
When I lived in Austin, I was friends with a girl who was from Australia. And the same thing would happen.
Crikey.
Like, I guess when I don't know.
She'd
I
just
think
jump
like,
on
it
a
was just like a
crocodile out of
cognitive
nowhere.
thing, like when she was like really like distracted, it would come out,
Yeah.
and it was funny. Like
that
out of nowhere, I was like, "Oh, hey, she's back."
But I found it so funny because I'm so used to that happening to like people that I know, but it'll sound like Mexican or like Spanish or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? And it's just so off-putting, like not off-putting, but just weird. That
It
it's
seems like they're faking
British.
it.
Yeah, it's just like you're just talking and then out of nowhere, bit of a whiffle,
But
isn't it?
we
Or whatever
forget
the
that
fuck,
they're
like,
doing an American accent here.
Yeah, and it's just like whoa.
You know, like Steven Sosa, he's or not originally, but like all his family's from like New York and shit. So sometimes he'll be talking and his New Yorker accent will come out, which is pretty funny.
I don't think you can have a New York accent if you didn't live there.
No, yeah, I mean, if you get raised around a bunch of people that fucking live
Pick
there,
it up.
you'll pick it up.
Like the
Yeah,
Houston
bro.
accent.
What's the Houston accent?
It's
Like,
just
I can't do it, dude. I can't do Houston
I don't
accents.
know.
There's a Houston accent.
Well, from the people that
Yeah,
I met
like,
and
they
when I
just
was
chopped
living in
it
Austin,
smooth.
I was about to say the same shit.
it's because there was a lot of people that when I was in Austin that I was friends with that came down from Houston, and they all sounded exactly the same. And it was like, oh, you're from Houston too, huh? And I was just like, oh man, dude.
And they're like,
But it's the same.
sipping
It's the same
scissor.
thing because whenever I go out, everybody's always like, "Oh, you're from Laredo, right? I can hear it in your voice." And I'm like, "What the hell do I sound
What does
like?
that
Mexican?"
mean, bro? Like, I want to understand the Laredo accent too.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's what everybody always tells me
so-
too. When I was in Louisiana, the same thing. Oh, you're from Laredo, right? Or you're from South Texas, right? Like you're Mexican. I'm like, how do you hear
Hey,
that,
you're
dude?
fucking Mexican, huh?
Definitely the thing for. But we definitely, as soon as we travel up like farther north, people know. Yes, that's for sure. It all sounds the same to everybody. Here,
Even people that spend time in either Austin or San Antonio, their accent changes. Like I noticed it from like Alan and Ronald. I was like, why do you guys like sound whiter, or like why are you trying to sound
that's
white?
true. Yeah, that's true.
Like what's going on here? Where's your hood?
Where's your hood?
Yeah.
They took the hood out of him.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
I was like, damn.
Shout out. Alan.
R.I.P. to my hood friends.
Still not patrons, dude.
Yeah, dude.
How many patrons do we have now?
6 still.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah, we're still at
Thanks,
6.
guys.
Thank you. So spooky stuff. Have you ever experienced any other spooky stuff like prior to any of this?
Yeah.
Elaborate.
Oh, okay.
Go into
I was like,
that.
let's say yes or no. Okay. Let me think.
Tell me about a time.
Let me think. Okay, so one of them, when I was in middle school, me and my friends were at one of my friend Sandra's house because we were doing a project, and she just started telling us about how like her cousin had been there, and for some reason was telling her that she was scared of the man that was in her closet, and she was just like whatever, like 'cause she didn't believe in shit, right? And so we were just fucking around on with one of our phones, like doing like an EVP or whatever, right? And we just like legit, we just left the phone there, and it was only us three at her place. Like nobody else was there. We were just there, just chilling, supposedly like doing our project, and we just left the phone recording. And it just recorded for like a minute because it was like on one of those old phones where it's only preset to do the voice recording for a minute.
Right.
And after we were done, we grabbed it and we listened to it. And on the 8th second of the recording, you hear a man's voice say, "Sandra, come."
Shut the fuck
Fucking
up.
weird, fucking scary. We were like, nope. We left. We like bolted out. When I was also too, like I guess in my adulthood, when I was living with my baby daddy, at his mom's house. That place was fucking creepy. Like it sounded like people were walking in the house at night.
What part of town was it in?
In the south.
Like super south?
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
Same.
Yeah. And it would sound like a woman with heels was walking around in the house. And then at night too, like it would sound like people were outside like the windows. Like talking, but like you couldn't really like whispering, but there'd be like nobody outside.
That's fucking creepy.
It was super creepy, very, very off-putting. And then there was this one time when what's it called? I was laying like facing the door, like laying down like that, like with my feet by the door.
Right.
And I saw like somebody pass by, and I thought it was his brother. And I was like, "Hey, dude, like go ask your brother like if he wants food," because we were gonna go pick up food. And he was like, "Hey," calling him like Dustin. Nothing, like he wouldn't respond. And he's like, I'm gonna go get him in his room. He's probably like listening to his headphones or whatever. And he goes into the room. And then I just hear him like going like around the house, because like I legit saw somebody walk this way, like if he was going into his room, because there's no exit on the door that way. And there was nobody in the house.
Damn.
And I was like, what the fuck? And so like, and then his mom had been saying that she had been like having like weird shit happen to her too. And she got some like man from across to come and bless the house. And after that, everything stopped.
Is that in the area by OBJ? No?
It's by like the Whataburger.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Isn't that where Pickles fucking captured a duende in a jar and shit?
What?
Hold on,
You
what?
remember this story?
No?
Yes, dude.
No?
Were you not? Oh, you probably weren't there for that.
I wasn't there for that?
Like when we talked about it on the episode.
Fuck, no. I didn't know he captured a duende in the jar.
So I'm going to retell the story, Pickles. If you hear this and I'm butchering it, I'm sorry. And you will hear this. We know you're listening. But, so you know, he interviewed a bunch of witches and all this crazy shit in like Mexico and all
The
that,
dark
right?
arts thing.
The dark
yes.
arts series that we have, right? Okay, cool. In one of these installments, there is a one of his nephews kept having like night terrors and all this other shit. So he went to one of these witches, and she was like, "Oh, their duendes are terrorizing him, and you need to like stop them, or they will take him because he's not baptized."
Oh.
No, I'm playing. They didn't say that part.
Propaganda.
but-
Some Catholic propaganda
Yeah,
right
for real.
there, man.
She didn't say that last part, but she did say something about duendes or something like that. So she gave him some dowsing rods, or dowel rods, whatever they're called,
Yeah.
for like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Those things that
Tuning
you hold,
ones?
the ones that you hold,
Yeah.
and you like search for like water, or usually is what they're for, and they cross whenever you walk over water because there's like a
Oh,
magnetic
what the
field.
fuck? I never heard of that.
Anyways, so she gave him some of that, and he walked around all of his sister's backyard, and she instructs him like when these things cross, like get a open jar of sorts and then like put it under where it's crossing and close it. And so he goes out there, that happens, and he does it, and in the jar, as I was told, and this is his claims, not mine. I'm only recanting the story. In the jar, there was like some weird like black puffy like smoke type of thing. And then she was like, take the jar and throw it into a body of water, like a running body of water. And in that area, the river's like not that far from there.
Yeah.
So he threw the jar into the river.
Damn,
Captured some
fucking nuts.
duendes.
It's fucking wild. So they just turn into smoke? Or
I
what the
don't
fuck?
know. I don't know, bro. I'm just telling you what was told to me. Speaking of the dark arts, dude, there was one of the last times that I did anything with Nichols. I was still at the Durrell, and we did like a 4-hour episode on like the story of one of the witches that he interviewed.
Yeah.
The whole time, I had this very weird feeling of like an outer presence, to be honest, because like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it was just me feeling that way because we were talking about a witch and then I psyched myself out or whatever, but it was an eerie feeling. And it was myself, Pickles, Marlene's brother, and Marlene's sister, right? Like, we were all there on the episode. And then I'm going to go to upload this thing and whatever, file corrupted.
Oh, shit.
So nobody ever got to hear any of that except for the people that were there. And it was like
creepy.
fucking, it was, and dude, the story, I was like, this is fucking nuts. Like, holy shit. Like, he had never told it before, and we got real in depth. Like, it was really good.
I feel like in terms of like right now, like I feel at the house, that there is another like presence there, but I don't feel threatened by it.
Yeah, I think it's like a cat or something.
I don't know. I feel like it's like a homie, dude. Honestly, I feel like
Well, if it's a homie, he can pay some rent.
I feel like I'm
a
like
bitch needs help.
at night when I'm like playing video games, I'll play till like 1 or 2 in the morning, and like I'll just be like sitting there like doing that, and I'll feel like somebody get up, right? Like I feel like maybe like somebody wakes up and like walks just to like look at me to check on me, and then goes back, and then like
I
usually
see
turn
that
around.
a lot too in the little partition right there by the couch. Like the other day I was there and it looked like something had like peeked out and I thought it was one of the kids, but no, it was weird.
And you're
Yeah.
like, oh no, wait, it's
just
top
there,
5.
like,
They just fucking.
the dab.
I get it. I get it in like the corner of my eye. Like I feel like I see somebody, and then I just like leave, and then I'm just like, and I'm not like freaked out by it. So I'm like, not doing that. But
Just
the one time that I did feel kind of like was like that night where we were talking about what was it? You had mentioned something. You said something, and I was like, don't fucking say that. You had said something about
I say a lot of things that make you do that.
no, but we were talking about like ghosts specifically.
Was that the one where I said if the ghost tried to like handle your pussy or
No.
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 But don't say that either.
Yeah, don't say that, but
don't say that.
No, it was
I don't know.
it was one where you woke up. You had a dream about something. You woke up and you told me that there was like somebody in the room or some shit like that. That you felt like somebody was at the edge of the bed, and I was like, "Don't fucking say that shit, dude! What the fuck?" Well, you had said that, and then I had some dreams about the time when I felt like somebody was peeking out of the closet.
That's because you keep telling me that. He's
Probably.
always saying somebody's gonna come out of the closet. No,
And
when you
"Hi,
said
I'm
somebody
gay."
standing behind the curtain in the room, like you just saw like the little legs or something.
That's right.
Damn.
Yeah. That was weird. Yeah. That so.
When
Oh,
you
it's
guys get a
because the thing is, dude, that like in our room, like we've got those blackout curtains, right? But like our blinds are kind of up, so whenever the fan is on, like it'll move a curtain, and I can see outside, right? Like on our porch area, and there was one time that I saw that, like the thing move, and I saw like somebody that was standing at her window. So I got up right away and I went outside to go see what the fuck was up, and there was nobody there. So I thought maybe I like saw something, but
creep. Boom.
yeah.
Yeah.
You should try doing like light a candle or whatever, and then focus on the flame until you can see like the outline of the flame when it moves and it's just still there, and then like astral projection or whatever.
Isn't that what you were doing? Like, did you do something like that? Something?
Last night, no, I was doing something else.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, does her thing.
He does.
Speaking of doing our thing, we gotta go because we're gonna hit the road tonight because Xio is performing at the River City Rumble.
Who are you fighting?
She's gonna be performing. It's gonna be a poetry competition.
Yeah, 16 poets total.
Yeah,
it's my first time doing anything like that, so I'm really excited.
That's fucking cool.
It's my first time reading outside of Laredo, so I'm like really excited for that too.
On the road, love to see the homies coming up. Love to see. Love to be able to be there to support.
What
my girlfriend.
Yeah,
and I'm excited to see you do your thing, dude. It's gonna be cool, especially
because you've only ever seen me read like one time.
That's not true.
Yeah,
no.
That my stuff, but the other thing that I read wasn't my own poem. I just performed one.
Okay, that is true.
Yeah,
little cover,
little
yeah,
cover,
a cover of another poem.
What
which
if you
I
just
read the shit out of, by the way.
Just print out rap lyrics and cover them. Boom, poetry.
So we will be there tonight, which it's not. You're probably not going to air this tonight, right?
No, it'll probably come out tomorrow.
Yeah. So by the time you see this, it will be the day after.
Yeah, the day after I.
But there's a lot of stuff coming up.
The mic drop.
The mic drop's happening Thursdays, which is the day that you're going to be seeing this today.
Yeah.
There's we're going to have another Cultura Live on May 20th. I'll be on that show hosting. I think we're going to try to work on making the mic drops weekly starting June, so that's going to be cool. We have a 4DF coming up May 6th.
May 6th. Is that the Friday? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't have a calendar.
Yeah, May 6th. And then we have a bunch of bonus episodes that are going up soon. I personally want to apologize for not being present for any of the stuff in the last 3 weeks, basically, since when I got sick and when I was busy the last time. So I want to apologize, but I want to thank you guys for continuing to support us in terms of not even just listening, but reaching out and asking if I was doing okay and stuff like that. I really appreciate that. Getting a lot of love from the homies. And go ahead and follow the Mic Drop 956. Follow us at AOTB Cast.
Patreon.com/AOTBcast.
Yeah, go to our Patreon, help support us. Shout out to our current patrons,
which are
we have. I don't know if Ernie's still a patron, right?
No, he hasn't been on it for a while. But we still have shout out to Peter, shout out to Mr. Lemon, shout out to Marlene, shout out to Isaac, shout out to Alex, aka Kind of Good, Kind of Trash on Twitch. Go follow his stream. And shout out to Monica, which we still don't know you. Please answer our messages so I can give you your stickers because they're just there.
Yeah. So thanks very much for that support. And shout out to the sponsors.
Shout out to all the sponsors, which they're already in here. Yeah, you guys already saw the ads.
You already saw the ads. Yeah. And go and follow my girlfriend on Instagram and her poetry at
90s Trash Pop. And my podcast is at the Bitching Hour 956.
We didn't talk about the Bitching Hour.
Oh,
let's talk about that a little bit before we go.
How much time do you guys have?
Right?
No. Just go to tell us what's it about. Okay. And there's an episode up. Tell us a little bit about that.
It is me and Becky. We wanted to just do female perspective, pop culture kind of stuff. Really just talking about anything. But lately, it's been all our topics are media focused. So our very first episode, which is out on SoundCloud, which is the same, the Bitching Hour 956 is the universal handle. We were talking about Taylor Swift's Red album, the re-release, and the 10-minute long All Too Well version because both she and I have experienced dating significantly older men in our early 20s. So that hit home, man. So we're like, let's talk about our trauma on the podcast, episode 1. So,
and I'll say I've been able to sit in and listen to them while they're recording. One, because they're part of the AOTB network. So whenever I'm setting up that producing stuff, I set it up and then I get to sit back and just listen. And they're very entertaining conversations. I know you guys will like especially if you like for our female demo
fan base,
which we don't really have.
No, surprisingly is half.
Oh, that's true.
Like,
actually, we
it's
saw
the bigger half. Of
we have
all of our social media
of like female listeners.
Can you blame them?
But hey, go and check it. Go and check out the Bitchy Hour 956. Definitely take a look at those episodes right now. They have one episode up. The second episode will be up when?
It will be up.
Probably like the first week of May, no? Or second week of May?
We released it last week, right? So it'll be next week, next Friday then.
Cool.
Not this Friday, but next Friday.
Next Friday. Coinciding with the drop of 4DF.
Cool. Yeah. And so go ahead and check that out. Make sure you check out That's Just My Opinion as well.
Yes.
It's TJMO Cast, right?
TJMO Podcast.
TJMO Podcast.
Yeah. It's also on our website if you go to our friends and family.
Yeah. So
aliensontheborder.com.
All that stuff is up on there. And anything else that you want to plug, babe? Anything else you got to do?
If you're a non-male identifying creative in the Laredo community, check out the Goddess Guild 956 on Instagram, which is just like a creative collective. We get together, we do workshops, we kind of just share and perform our stuff, like what poetry, if you want to write skits, if you want to sing a song, whatever you want to do in the creative realm, you're more than welcome to join us. So just, keep posted for our events. We're kind of aiming to do them monthly. But
there you have it, the Goddess Guild.
Hey, and if you like our studio setup, man, just fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, it'll look a little bit better as we get along.
If you have any
missing some pieces,
if you have any knickknacks you want to donate.
Dude, like if you want to draw a picture of Roger or of me or of both of us or something, just draw them and send them.
We're planning on here. If you're taking a look at behind us, we have some extra space here. We might put up some like bookshelves and stuff like that, where we're gonna put up like art or whatever it is that we can have behind us. If you have any knickknacks you want us to place somewhere. I
have a big ass piece that Orly commissioned for
we could put Orly's up too. Yeah, but we're gonna definitely fill out the studio to be a little bit more of our vibe.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have anything like that, just send it over. We can have it here. We'll point them out, promote them during the cast.
I feel like there's something I'm forgetting to mention or say, but I can't. I don't know what it is.
Ivan's gonna have a show.
Oh yeah, Ivan's having a show May 26 in the Valley.
In the Valley, so that's
at
cool.
Cine del Rey, right?
No, it's gonna be at Club Royale.
Club Royale
Royal Nightclub. I don't know, whatever. But it's
if there's an E at the end, it's Royale.
I think no, it's Royal actually. It's Royal Nightclub. But he's gonna be out there
in the Valley.
In the Valley, it's gonna be his first out of town show, so that's really exciting. Check him out. And that's about it. I don't know what you were forgetting.
And to finish off, shout out to our sponsors once more, Guru Cats. Go check out the website, gurucats.com, GURUCATZ.com. Use the promo code AOTB for 10% off the entire store.
Hey, and a huge shout out to PrintXPress, your one-stop shop for all your printing needs, from stickers to T-shirts and everything in between. Make sure you go to PrintXPressInc.com to fulfill all of your print needs. These guys did go ahead and print our stickers. They're excellent quality. We're in love with them. They're $3. Also hit us up for your stickers. But shout out to them. Follow them on social media. You can find them on Facebook under PrintXPress. That's X, the number X, the letter X.
The letter X.
PrintXPress Laredo, or follow them on Instagram at PrintXPress.
And, of course, huge shout-out to MacSolutions, providing you with all your Mac support needs since 1992. Go to MacSolutions.com, and that's Mac-Solutions.com to get your services for anything related to your Mac or iOS device. Or you can call them at 956-SAD-MAX. That's 956-723-6227. Let them know that Aliens on the Board. I don't know. If I have to, I'll just record something else and put it in here at the very end. But I can't remember anything that I'm forgetting. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I just can't remember what. I don't know.
You want to sponsor us, DM us at AOTBcast or send us an email at
AOTB.cast@gmail.com.
Love you.
Goodbye, friends.